Hello, this video is a bit like the last one in as much as it's a sort of teaser video. I've been sent some more products for review and I haven't yet got them out of the box, so it's all fresh and I haven't had a chance to test them yet. So what I'm going to do in this video is just look at them, unbox them and see what it is we get, describe some of the features, and then the actual test videos will be forthcoming fairly shortly. So what have I been sent? Well, a couple of products from Aputure. Firstly, the HR672C Light, and also this, which is their VMic D2. They did have a prior version of this out, the VMic D1. Well, this is all new with new features, and they've also had, of course, several LED lights out before. But this one builds on what they did with another product that I reviewed previously. You may have seen my review of the HR672, this little camera top LED light. And the key selling point of this one is that Aputure have started using some newer, better quality LEDs with a CRI, colour rendition index, of at least 95. And that is supposed to give you very good quality light. So they've started using those LEDs in the new product, and I think the HR on the model number actually stands for high rendition, as in high colour rendition. 672, I think, is the number of actual LEDs in the panel, and the C here indicates that this is the bi-colour version. You can colour tune it down from tungsten temperature, 3200 Kelvin, up to around 5500, which is daylight Kelvin. As usual, they do also make daylight only versions with a slide-in gel to convert them, with the suffix W for a wide angle and S for a sort of more spotlight version. So let's have a quick look inside the box and see what you get. It appears to be the same size as their prior lights, the AL528W. You may also recall I have reviewed on this channel before. Comes in a rather nice little box. They're so pleased with their high CRI of 95 plus, they've actually embroidered it into the case. Two parts to this case, a sort of front and a back, and in that top section you've got two Sony NPF style batteries, because the light will run either on the two batteries or off the mains, and if you have the batteries on while you've got the mains in, it will charge the batteries for you as well, so no external charger needed, which is good. There's the mains power supply. There's a shoulder strap there to carry the bag around if you don't want to use the handle on the top. And the other feature they've now added to these new lights, in addition to the better quality LEDs, cast your mind back. Do you remember the review I did of this, the Yongno YN300? One of its little nifty features was that it comes with a remote control, so you can just press the button and turn the lights on and off. Well, now Aputure have done the same with this new generation of lights, and it has a little wireless remote controller here, but it's not just a straightforward on and off and all the lights turn on and off. You can actually do 3 different wireless channels and 4 different groups. I'm not quite sure how that works yet. As I say, I've literally just got these products, so we'll find out. But it is useful to be able to just go blip, blip, blip and turn on banks of lights, and that seems to be what they're implying you can do with this. So that's the front compartment. The light itself is over here in the back, and there it is. Oh, a bit of documentation falling out, get rid of that. Wrapped up in a bit of plastic, bear with me, just get rid of the case. Yes, this looks very standard, very much like their prior models of light. They are fanless, there's no noisy fans in these, they're just cooled by vents on the back. Ooh, in a tasteful shade of battleship grey rather than their prior black. You can see you've got the 2 battery compartments. They will take, so the instructions say, not only Sony NPF type, but also Sony, I think they're called QM type batteries as well. However, it comes with a couple of NPFs. Now you've got 2 control knobs here, one for brightness and one for colour temperature. You've got the buttons here which switch the light onto the different channels and groups for the remote controller. On-off button there. There's a 3-pin DC in at 15 volts there for the power supply that is included, and then a little display panel here which will tell you what brightness you're at in percentage terms, 10 to 99%, and also what color temperature you're at. And it looks like it's going to give you a visual indication of what channel and group you've set the light to as well. Very lightweight. You could easily carry a few of these around. It's got, what are those? I can't remember the sizing of them, but you know, the standard light thread sizes on 3 sides. You can easily mount this to a light stand, and it actually comes with, in the box, I think, in that back section, it comes with a little screw-in adapter so you can pop it onto a light stand. Is this a removable diffuser? Yes, it is. There's a diffuser which you can take out or put in. I mean, I don't find these diffusers that are slap bang against the LEDs much use actually, but I suppose it's better than nothing. And there is the panel of lights, all 672 of them. So that's a very brief look at it. I'll do some proper tests. They say it is flicker free. People get very worried about using LED lights and whether they're going to flicker. They say flicker free. They also say it's based on pulse wave modulation technology, which I thought, and I am no expert on this, but I thought that was the one that potentially leads to flicker. So perhaps there is indeed some testing to be done. I tell you what, I'm going to do a quick edit, put this on, and we'll see how I look lit by this light. So here I am now being lit solely by the new HR672C. It's just up there. I shouldn't have looked at it, that's blinded me. It's currently set to 5500K at full power. I've also put the batteries in the remote. So as you can see, I can switch it off and switch it on again. And also, I think, change the brightness. There we go. That's taking it down to, that seems to be minimum, which is about 10%. And back up again to 100%. And as you can see, I've also shut the blind behind me. I've turned all the other lights off, so we are pretty much seeing me as illuminated by that light. In fact, why don't I just turn it completely off? And yes, that is about the only light that is actually in the room at the moment. Let's see if I can change the color temperature. I think I have to adjust the light and put it on a different channel in order to do that. So bear with me 1 second. Right, I've just tweaked it so that I can adjust it using the remote for the color temperature. The way this remote works is that channels A and B are purely for lights that have brightness control, so they wouldn't be the color temperature adjustable versions. And then C and D have a color temperature adjustment on the remote. So if I now press this button here, wrong way, let's take it that way, we should suddenly start to go very tungsten. Oh, very tungsten indeed, yes, there we go. And that appears to be at fully 3200K. And if I press the button the other way a few times, we will gently go back towards 5500, which is what I actually balanced the camera at. And then again we can do off and on quite happily, and brightness quite happily. So actually I'm quite impressed with that, because it is very useful once you've put your lights up around wherever you're filming to just be able to control them from one remote, and having the ability to control sets of them even better. So yes, I'm impressed with that, but I will do a full video with more tests as well. Okay, let's switch back to the standard studio setup and have a look at the other product that Aputure have sent me. So as I mentioned, the other product I'm having a look at is this. It's the Aputure VMic D2, and it is one of those little camera top microphones that they are pitching quite deliberately and quite hard as competition for this, the Rode Videomic Pro. And they've out and out stated, have Aputure, that they want to take on Rode, and they say it's got more features and more facilities and so on, which again we'll have to test. Let's just have a little look at the spec then. It comes with a fluffy windshield as well as the ordinary foam one, which is nice. It's got what they're calling a tri-isolation system, in other words, lots of rubberized bits on the mounting to try and isolate the microphone from any handling noise. Low self-noise, it says, without actually specifying a figure. And one of the things they're particularly proud of in this mic is that it's got a little adjustable dial on the side and a couple of LED lights, so that you can sort of calibrate the microphone to whatever camera you're filming with. And the way it works is you press a button on the mic and it sends a full-scale tone out, as powerful as the microphone can deliver, to your camera, and you adjust your camera so that that tone is set to 0. In other words, maximum, full-scale deflection. Then you turn that sort of set mode off and adjust the dial so that the LEDs are now acting as a sort of in-range indicator. This will all make sense when I do the full review video. And then essentially you're adjusting the sound level of the recording on the microphone rather than having to fiddle with any controls that may or may not be on whichever camera you're using. So it's quite a nice idea. Let's take it out of the box and have a look. There at the back, that is the fluffy windshield. Mostly white, a little bit of brown. Fine. You never know how good those windshields are until you actually try them though, because anyone can get a bit of fur and stick it in a microphone shape. Whether it's actually acoustically any good and whether it does actually block the wind is always something you really need to go and test, so we'll do that. There's the box then, the microphone, provided with a couple of batteries because it does run off 2 AAA cells. 2 sets of connectors. There's the normal 3.5mm jack and also what looks like a right-angled USB connector. I'll just stick those over there. And the reason they've got it like that is that the mic itself, I don't know if it's going to be that easy to show, but the isolation, there's rubber isolation under here, and then there's isolation within the ring in which the mic is mounted. And you've got a connection out from the mic into the little bass unit. And then on the back of the bass unit, you've got the switches I was just mentioning for calibration, the dial on the side, and then the output of the bass unit goes, you've got the input from the mic there, and then where is the output? Hello, where's the output? Oh, there's the output from the mic to your camcorder. Let's see how it looks size-wise to the Rode Videomic. Okay, it is slightly longer, slightly bigger, about the same height. Other than that, you can't really tell a lot by looking. Obviously, it's all about the sound quality. They both have low-cut filters if you want to switch those in to reduce any sort of rumbling and low-end noises. The Videomic Pro does have an adjustable gain output, but it's simply -10, 0 or +20, whereas, as I've already mentioned, this one has this adjustable dial so that you can set your levels on the mic. Now, as with the Light, I will be doing full test videos coming soon, but just a quick and dirty test of what the VMic D2 sounds like. And I have measured it, I have my tape measure out. It's currently on a camcorder which is 130 centimetres, 1.3 metres, or 4 feet 3 inches if you prefer, away from my mouth. And you're listening to it now, this is what it sounds like. I should point out that the acoustics in this room are not great. It's a very small room, it's got a very flat ceiling, flat walls, it's got a slightly bathroomy sound to it. It's not great, but let us switch between the mic that I normally use for my voice, which is just up there on a stand, and actually that's not even pointing directly at me today, but anyway, it's up there, and then there's the camcorder mic over there, the VMic D2. Let's just toggle between them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, the lamb apparently was sure to go. So there you go, that's a quick test. Now normally, I would not recommend having a microphone as far away from me as that one is, because the thing with these top mics is, well, any mic in fact, they don't work well unless they're close to their subject. It doesn't matter what microphone you're using, they like to be close. It's just the laws of physics. So if you are going to use one of those for dialogue, you really need to be up close and personal with it. So bear with me. If you're going to do some sort of selfie filming, something like that, where the microphone is probably only a foot away from you, it will probably sound perfectly good. So if I was going to say, hello, other camcorder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it probably sounds much better than it did a moment ago when it was over there. Let's just pop it back. So just be advised that with any microphone, you need to get it close to the subject. If you're going to use any mic, whether it's the Rode Videomic, the D2, as anything other than an ambient sound catcher, if you want to use it for dialogue, you need really to get it close to whoever's speaking. Right, here endeth the lesson. That is what that mic sounds like. Full comparison still to come. That's it for now. If this video was useful to you, please do click that like button. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel, then a little click on the subscribe button is always appreciated. It doesn't cost you anything, and it means you will be informed when any new videos go up. So for the moment, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully check back with you later. Cheers now. Bye-bye.